The story of Rustic Falls is part of Eric and my life together from the beginning. We went on our honeymoon and saw this campgrounds and thought it would be so cool to run something like that.
It was always our dream to have a youth camp. Always something we talked about if we won the lottery or, we ever had the opportunity.
That was always a dream. And then Eric got diagnosed in 2005 with colon cancer, and it was stage 4, and they gave him 12 to 18 months to live.
At 7 years old, I didn't really know what that exactly meant, but what came from that was my dad pursuing a dream that radically shifted my family. He always wanted to start a nature camp, and it's something my parents talked about, and he wanted to start a space for young people.
Not only to get away from the everyday grind, whether it be city kids or cancer survivors and the families, just to come up and enjoy nature that they may not have had the opportunity to do.
My dad wasn't done telling his story. He wanted to continue to write a story that he was proud of. And even though I know he had so much to be proud of already, he had built himself a beautiful life, he wanted something bigger.
Eric was like the Pied Piper. People just believed in what he was saying. His enthusiasm could kind of pull people along. And me too. It pulled me along too. And our kids, they were out there always.
My first memories of Rustic Falls were just going out to this land that they had cashed in their retirement savings to purchase. And it was a piece of land.
Deanna and I decided to let's see about purchasing the cobblestone house across the street and make that into the camp.
Getting the cobblestone house was a game changer for the camp.
Family, friends, community members, they came together and offered all different types of skills and talent and time and labor.
The cobblestone was such a collective of everybody working toward this camp to come to life. And Eric was right out there leading the way. And I mean, for a guy who was on chemo, he never wanted to stop working.
I absolutely mentally refuse to let myself think that this is going to get the better of me. And you can't lead your life worrying about it.
I know a place where the door was always open.
October of 2010, we opened.
This is kind of an informal dedication today as well as our annual event.
And we had this huge celebration. And it was beautiful. It was just like this day of victory. Cancer has enough days of non-victory, but having this day of victory that wasn't about the disease, it was about the power of humanity.
My dad got to experience Rustic Falls open for 4 years before he died in 2014.
Losing him was heartbreaking, but having Rustic Falls is a gift.
My dad was very much a catchphrase guy. One of his favorite sayings was, always leave a place a little better than you found it. And I think that's something he set out to do and something he definitely did.
A space for everyone, for anyone to access, whether that's a high school group of students up for a day or a Refugee One visiting for an overnight in the winter or Hope Junior visiting for the darkroom retreat or a family struggling with a cancer battle. All of these things are what Rustic Falls is for collective care, for community, and for just being human.
As a little kid, finding out your brother was diagnosed with leukemia, it's not really something you understand right away. So visiting a place like Rustic Falls, you kind of start to remember what life is actually really about, and it's spending time with family, people that you love.
There's no expectation of how you have to show up here. Everyone can just live to their fullest self out here and discover different parts of themselves.
When we're at Rustic Falls, we're able to let the kids just kind of go with the flow. Some choose to do the arts and crafts. Some of them will go kick a soccer ball back and forth and run around and get some good energy. Some of them just kind of walk and talk with their friends. Some of them get to be social with people they're typically not.
It makes a big difference to be able to come to a different place and just kind of step outside of their everyday lives a little bit. We've had families that have come here after the loss of a family member or after a particularly challenging time, and that does so much to just give them something else to look forward to, something else to focus on.
What it do brings like a little relief from the things that you go through on a day-to-day basis. So it's just like somewhere where you could come and be loved and have fun with people that you always surround yourself with.
Our students can be a little bit more open, a little more relaxed, and you can see a difference in a lot of the students.
Since the opening of Rustic Falls, we've added an additional home on the property to accommodate more visitors. We've planted hundreds of trees. We've added a greenhouse, an organic garden, an apple orchard.
Shortly after I met Sarah, I visited the camp for the first time, and immediately it was something I wanted to be a part of. In 2021, me and my dad were able to do the barn restoration project. It's a 100-year-old barn, so there was a lot to do. The foundation was crumbling, but it's definitely the heart of the camp and a big part of the programming.
I think the magic of Rustic Falls is that it doesn't matter what somebody is going through. There's something in Rustic Falls for everyone.
Since we opened, we have met thousands of people, and each one has a story that's their own, and we want that to just keep growing.
To have this tangible space that is directly tied to my dad's vision, his worldview, his beliefs, this way of showing up for people, and that it's still existing 11 years later is truly a gift.
What started as Eric Lentz's story has become the story of thousands. It's a story of hope and resilience, and we have big plans for the future of Rustic Falls.
You have to find joy, and I do think that Rustic Falls offers a space to take a break and reset and keep moving forward.
This is like a dream come true.